Welcome back to Beautiful Souls. And many of you are going to be like, wait, what? Another upload? What is this craziness? Okay, so in this, over Discord, I've had a few discussions about two separate what ifs for Naruto that I wanted to do. And after talking with a couple of you in private messages, and one person in particular, there's two of them that I'm going to combine because honestly, there's not much that would change as far as the relationship between Kurama and Naruto goes in the two. It's just events with the quirk one, which this will be. The events with Kurama would happen later on. Sorry about that. It's just in this one, because with these two specifically, with Kurama basically getting befriended, well, starting to be befriended by Kushina, it sets up, like, both of them, like Naruto, like in both of them, Naruto would obviously find out about Kurama a lot sooner with the Uncle Kurama one that I had planned, and I couldn't really think of a way to really make that story unique and different from what other people did. What if Naruto befriended Kurama earlier? Or what if Kurama like raised Naruto? So this is little extra that I'm adding into this. And the way I'm working this into the story is Naruto, if you'll see, but basically Kurama's a little bit responsible for this happening. So that being said, let's get into our story. Our story actually starts many years before Naruto is born. And hell, this even starts before Kushina and Minato even get married. Now, Kushina, she's like fighting, and she's like, damn it, you fucks, give me more chakra. Or do I have to take it by force again? Whatever, you damn brat. Just take it already. So, after the battle that Kushina was involved in, like, she goes into, like, her mindscape, and she says, Thanks, you damn fox. Whatever, you damn brat. I swear if you didn't have those damn adamantium chains, I'd rip you a new one. And Kushina laughs, and she's like, Kurama's like, what's so funny? Well, you're not as bad as everyone says. So, needless to say, years pass, and over the years, Kushina, like, starts visiting Kurama, like, daily. And she talks to him. Kurama doesn't want anything to do with her. Basically, kind of what happened with Naruto. The only difference between Naruto and her is Kushina's like is older and more accustomed to like actually be a Jinchuriki, because she was actually trained to be a Jinchuriki by the previous person before she passed away. And somebody would be like, "Oh, but she died like after giving Kushina Kurama." It's like, no, she was Uzumaki. The Uzumaki and the Senju may be like this too, but the Uzumaki have such a strong life force that they can survive losing their tailed beasts. Like, their life expectancy is dropped, but like they won't insta-die like Gaara did. And the only reason why Kushina like actually died in the original is she just given birth. She was going through that stress. Her body was already under a lot of stress. Then she lost Kurama, which added more stress, and then she overexerted herself to the point of death when she used her adamantine chains to restrain Kurama when he was going on his rampage. So that's actually why Kushina died. It was a combination of several different things that just put too much stress on her body, and with getting kind of impaled by Kurama, like, that was just too much, and she just succumbed to, like, her wounds. So that being said, one day, like, after, like, Kushina and Minato, like, get married, she's actually in her mindscape talking to Kurama, and she finally says, QB, it's been many years that I've been coming and talking to you. Do you have a name? And Kurama just, his eyes go a little wide, and he's like, and Kushina, in her red hot chili personality, says, "What's so funny, you dirty fox? You're the first one of my jailers that asked me for my name. Well, there was the one, but the first one to ask me for my name. I don't feel too much. I don't feel like telling you yet, but you're not as bad as the rest. You're better than most of these humans." So a few more, like, I would say Kushida and Minato were married for a few years before Naruto was born. So after Kushida, like, becomes pregnant with Naruto, about that same time, this is when Kurama really starts to, like, really let Kushina in to, like, not really being friends, but not, like, making her life a living hell kind of thing. When, like he's being civil with her. And Kushina notices this, and she says, "So, you gonna tell me your name or what?" And Kurama says, "Fine, my name's Kurama. That's what the rest of them call me. Well, they call me damn fox, especially damn Inanuki." And Kushida, like, smiles and laughs a little bit. And this is when Kurama says, "Hina, do you know you're pregnant? There's another thing inside of you, just besides me." And Kushida's eyes go wide, and she's like, "What do you mean, fox?" And then Kurama, like, goes, "Hina, I told you my name. If you're not gonna call me by it, then I'll no longer speak to you. But you're pregnant. That I can definitely tell. I've been through it before with the first Ukagi's wife. I know what a woman Jinchuriki feels like when she's pregnant. You guys get the seal is weakened when you're birth. I initially was thinking about escaping, but you seem pretty well. And I could always escape when you die." Kushina just kind of laughs at that. And she says, "Thank you, Kurama. I have been feeling a little queasy in the morning sometimes." So, in the real world, she goes and gets checked out. She is indeed pregnant. Minato is happy. And mind you, Kushina hasn't told anyone that she's actually been talking to Kurama. And so this is going to cause an effect. As Naruto is inside of his mother's womb, Kurama, because of the Nine Tails chakra, this kind of awakens the quirk gene that Naruto has. And now I want to go over quirks in this, because the title of the series is The Advent of Quirks. So, in this, Naruto's going to be amongst the first generation. Now, there are a few key players that will have quirks that would be older than Naruto, but their quirks are pretty much carbon copies of their Keiki Genkai, so they wouldn't know. Because as far as I know, you can just use your Keiki Genkai without hand signs. Well, at least the base forms of it. But, so yeah, like, just for example, Haku's Keiki Genkai. He was shown to, and I'm using he was shown to use the Keiki Genkai by, like, he started creating like small icicles, but then he used like a higher form, like he actually used a higher form, like kind of weaving hand signs to focus the chakra. And from my understanding, that's why they weave the hand sizes, to actually be able to focus the chakra. But if you had perfect chakra control, like perfected, like you would be called a god of chakra control. You pretty much could learn no hand sign jutsu. In my opinion. So, because Kurama was, because of the Nine Tails chakra flowing through Kushina's body, because by the time Kushina's out like the 6-month mark, her and Kurama have become better companions. I wouldn't call them necessarily friends, but Kurama has a lot of respect for Kushina, and vice versa. Kurama has told her about some of his past and explained like a few of the other tailed beasts and their personalities. And Kushina's like jokingly one day says, "So you're the angry big brother of everyone." And Kurama like laughs at this. "You could say that, Kushina. You could definitely say that. But for now, I think it would be best if I stop giving you chakra, because it could have some very adverse reactions to your baby. Like the others, it can harm them in certain ways, so I'm going to ease up on the chakra that I give you, if you don't mind." And Kushina agrees to that. So, just like in canon, the masked man Obito attacks, kidnaps Naruto, gets a hold of Kushina, and then, so the difference between this and canon is, yes, this happens. So Kurama, he's just in the one part of the town, and he's not going on a like, he is rampaging a little bit, but when Kurama in his head is like, "No, Kushina, where's Kushina? Kushina?" And then finally when he's able to like break it and Minato has transported him away, like he's just sitting there like you can just see like tears coming down his eyes, because they don't know this. And I'm going to say Kushina's the birth of Naruto was extra strenuous with this, And Minato, he's just looking at the Ninetales, and like he just sees like the look on this creature's face. He's like, well, damn it. Because Kushida did like use her chakra chains, and Kurama calmed down and he put his head down to Kushina, and he kind of like does like a fist. He kind of does like a little bit of a fist bump, kind of connecting their minds. And he's like, Kushida, your son, sealed me in him. It's too late for you. I can sense your life energy. It's fading. And even if I was sealed back inside of you, you would die. And it would take many years for me to coalesce again. At least this way I would be able to protect him and save all our little Naruto from the pain that you had to go through, losing your family. As he like kind of comes out in, unfortunately, Minato had already started the Reaper Death Seal, and when Kushina sees this, she kind of gets pissed, and Minato's like, we're going to have to seal the Ninetales in Naruto, and I'm going to have to split it. And then Kushina says, it's too late for me. Now that you've done this, Naruto's not going to have a parent alive, you idiot! And Minato's, what? The Ninetales, Minato, he's not evil. He was under Genjutsu. That's why he rampaged. It's my fault for not telling you this, but I've been talking with him. And then Minato just hears, Minato, I'm sorry. Please, since you already did the seal, here, take this chakra and use it to put more of your life force into that damn blasted seal. Make it stronger if you want. I don't care. Over time it will weaken, and I will have contact with your son. Our little Naruto here will be destined for great things. I can feel it. I sensed it all those months. Something was different. He wasn't particularly normal. Minato is shocked by all of this, and shortly after this was discussed, Hiruzen arrives, and he just sees like the Ninetales just sitting there and like tears streaming down its like face. And basically Kurama gave up most of his yang energy, like the evil side of him, in some of his things. So he will still be whole, and it will take him many years to like recuperate all that chakra. So Kurama wasn't split in half, but yes and no, he was split, but it wasn't like a full 50-50. It was more like a 75-25 split, but Kurama gave Minato more chakra, and also gave a little bit of chakra to like Kushina, so she could at least survive a couple of hours after the sealing, so that she would have some time to at least spend with her son. And also what happened in canon, where Kushina's also placed into this, and she placed into the seal along with like Minato's soul to prevent Naruto from unlatching it, because Minato still doesn't trust Kurama. And how he gave Minato the chakra, he basically gave like the Ninetales chakra to Kushina, and she kind of converted it and gave some to Minato to like make the seal stronger. So they end up sealing most of the Nine-Tails Fox inside of young Naruto. So then Kushida has a conversation with Hiruzen before the council meeting. She explains that this is Naruto. Jiraiya is his godfather, and she gives the key to Hiruzen and say that her and Minato want Jiraiya to have this. And before she can hand the key over, a frog appears as she sees Minato do another jutsu, and she's like, Minato, you and the frog basically grabs the key and desummons, and the frog hands it over to Jiraiya. And she basically tells Hiruzen that you guys better take care of my boy. I don't want him used as a weapon. He's going to need a family. And with that, Kushina finally dies. Now, over the years, Naruto does because Kurama's trying to break the seal, he doesn't realize that Kushina kind of altered it slightly. So he's been unknowingly causing issues for Naruto. It's not to the point where he can make contact with Naruto, or he can force a contact with Naruto. Naruto would have to discover it for himself. So Naruto, he's still the same kid of Naruto, always pulling pranks and everything. And I would say about around when they're 5 is I believe when Naruto saved Hinata. And unfortunately, Hiruzen just being freaking shitty, outside of Jiraiya, it's understandable because of the spy network, but for Christ's sakes, Hiruzen was there, and he knew that Minato and Kushina would want their son raised properly, but the third Hokage really failed at that miserably. So back to the story. This is when Naruto is basically saving Hinata, and the boys go to rush at him, but then Naruto he feels something change inside of him. He feels this cool feeling throughout his entire body, and he goes to throw a punch, but as he throws a punch, a massive wind, pressurized wind comes out of his hand and just absolutely screws up these dang bullies and knocks them out, just knocks them out cold. Hinata's just looking at Naruto, and he turns around, his classical smiling, and he helps her up. Same thing where the person that was taking care of her comes in and tells Naruto to get away from her, and then Hinata is this is where Hinata falls in love with Naruto. And so Naruto, the Anbu show up, and a few of them did see what had happened, and they bring Naruto to Hiruzen, and they explain the situation that Naruto has wind release, and Naruto's he tries to explain to Hiruzen what he was feeling and how he felt when he did that because they're like all of them are still thinking this is chocolate, but it's not. It's something completely different. So Naruto, he's sitting there in Hokage's office, and then Hiruzen tells him he's going to stay at his place tonight, and he just needs to finish up like the duties of Hokage for the day. Because early in the morning, before he has to come to the office, he's going to take Naruto to like go testing. Because 5-year-old producing Wind Release and Naruto being the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Hiruzen's a little concerned about this because, yeah, he's been doing a shitty job, like making sure Naruto grows up okay. He does have his suspicions about other people in the village. About the only person that I think he would actually trust would be Kakashi, just to deal with Naruto. And I think even if Naruto wasn't bottom of the class, he would still be on Kakashi's team, just because he has the Sharingan. He was Minato's student, so out of all the Jonin that Naruto could be on their team, I feel Kakashi, just because of having just let alone just for the Sharingan, he would have been placed on his team anyway, being the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Just that being said. So, all the stuff that will happen with the Uchiha will happen in this one. I'm not going to change that. So we're just going over, in this episode, up until the graduation day. So, Naruto is sitting there. He's thinking he's in a lot of trouble because he was scolded about that. So he's just laying there in the bed, kind of crying. That night, he has a weird dream. He's in a very dark place. And he then hears a voice. Naruto, can you hear me? Naruto. And then it happens. Naruto sees a bright light and everything gets bright, and then he sees it. He sees the Nine-Tails in the cage, and he's initially scared because of what the Nine-Tails looks like, and then the Nine-Tails is like, sorry about that little one, and takes his normal form, basically looking like this. He's not he takes a physical form. And Naruto's scared. He's like, what are you? And Kurama says, so that thing happened. Wait, Shina, you sly girl. For now, Naruto. Wake up, Naruto. Just wake up. Naruto wakes up and he has a cold sweat and everything. So the day, the couple hours pass and Naruto's just sitting there in the room. He's just thinking. He's like, I hope I'm not in a lot of trouble. Oh man, really yelled at me yesterday. So about an hour, 2 hours pass, and Hiruzen comes and collects Naruto. They go downstairs, and this is where he actually meets Konohamaru. And Naruto sees the baby, because I believe no, Konohamaru actually wouldn't be there. Ozma might be there along with Hiruzen's. God, I can't remember if it was Ozma's brother or his sister. I believe it was his brother that had Konohamaru. But Konohamaru's parents are there. Or no, because Konohamaru was 8. He's turning 8, so that would be 7. Yeah, Konohamaru would have been... No. Yeah, well, whatever. It's just a minor detail. Either Konohamaru's there as a baby and his parents are already dead, or they are there and Konohamaru's mom is very much pregnant. So Naruto is given like breakfast, and then him and Hiruzen like leave. And they get to one of the training grounds, and then Naruto sees a masked Ambu member there, and he recognizes him, and he's like, "Oh, it's the fox guy that's always following me." And Naruto's like, "Old man, why are we here?" And Hiruzen says, Well, Naruto. Actually, we need to wait a few minutes. My son, he's going to be coming by. Remember that little thing I had you do last night? And Naruto says, yes, you had me put my chakra into like this piece of paper and then it split in half. And then he explains to Naruto that his chakra nature is wind. And they did that little test just to confirm it, but from what the reports say about what you did, you utilized wind. So I assumed you had a wind chakra nature. That was just for me to just confirm it. And you indeed have a very rare chakra nature, Naruto. Am I still in trouble for what I did to those bullies? And the reason, like kind of chuckles with like his pipe, and he's like, "No, my boy. I just wanted to be here to kind of explain to you that you'll be having a couple of teachers for the next couple of years, Naruto, until they have other duties that they have. Once a week, I want you to be here, and you'll be receiving training from either Fox here, or you'll be receiving training from my son. You doing a wind release at such a young age is very rare." And so, well, in the manner that he did. So Naruto, he's about 30 minutes pass, and Ozma arrives, and he explains that you'll either receive some training from Fox here, or you'll be receiving some training from my son. They're going to work on your chakra control. To see, and I'm here today just to see if we can replicate what you did yesterday, young man. And then turns to Ozma, and he's like, "Whatever is discovered here, Ozma, is for you, me, and Fox over there only. Report back to me when you are finished for the day. And here, Fox, you have another mission. I have a mission for you." And he hands Fox like the piece of paper. Fox reads it, and then it immediately bursts into flames, and you just hear a Fox say, "As you wish, Hokage." And he basically body flickers out of there. And so Ozma leans down to Naruto, and Naruto's just looking up at this big bulking man, and he says, "So you must be Naruto. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Ozma." And Naruto, like, says, why don't you look at me like the rest of the village does? And Ozma just kind of looks at him like, what do you mean? Well, for some reason, everyone is always giving me dirty looks and called me a brat. And then Ozma's like, well, it's probably because you play all those pranks, little boy. No. My father, Lord Third, he said that you have a wind chakra nature. You see, I also have a wind nature as well. And I was told you were able to do something yesterday. Naruto explains what he was feeling, and Ozma, they spend the whole day trying to replicate it. And then Naruto does, and then he's like, and Ozma, when he sees like the wind and everything, he can't sense the chakra coming off of it. Because I imagine Ozma being like a Jonin or a high tuning at this point would be able to have some would be able to sense chakra, maybe not like to pinpoint it, but he would be able to feel chakra. Especially if he's Jonin. Like, that's like one of like the base requirements, is to be able to sense chakra. Even if you're not a sensory type, you don't have to specialize in it, but you do need to be able to sense chakra. Just because of like the whole thing. So he has a look of shock on his face, and Naruto's like, what, did I do something wrong? And Ozma says, no, like, Naruto, were you using chakra when you did that? And Naruto's like, no, I just did it. Like this. Foo, 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 foo. And then so, this is very, very peculiar. Now, this has been told, like, this has kind of been going in secret, but what Naruto did does get back to a few people because of, well, idiocy. How the village never saw Minato and Naruto. Like, god dang, they literally just look the same, but that's neither here nor there. So the day, like at the end of the day, Ozma reports back to his father and tells him what they discovered. And Lord Third, he's very surprised about this, and he's like, very peculiar. Very, very, very peculiar. Peculiar indeed. And Ozma's like, what's peculiar, father? Well, it seems we have another one on our hands. And Ozma's like, what do you mean another one? Well, Anbu out. Well, you two can stay. You already know about this. I've been talking with the head of the... Not so one moment. Sorry about that interruption. I actually wanted to make sure I had the last name right, so I was saying the right clan. I've been talking to the head of the Nara clan. It seems that his son has developed a unique ability. It may be a new form of Keiki Genkai. We don't know too much about it. As far as I know, nothing like this has ever happened in other villages, though if this did happen, they would be keeping this very secretive. And Hiruzen explains that the head of the Naruto clan's son has developed a similar power. And I will get into what Shikamaru's quirk is later. Most of you should already know it, considering I have talked about it in Discord openly. And asked about it. I'm not sure if I put it in general, but a few of you already know because I have talked about it in private messages and also voice. So then he tells Ozma that well, train the boy in wind release, and let's see what happens. So, I'm actually going to end this part here. I know it's not as long as my part zeros, but not much can be done for the setup. What really changes, like, is in like part 1 and part 2, and this just has like rolling effects for later on. So that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think of this part down below. This is something I'm going to try more for my part zeros in the future. Basically doing more explanatory and not really doing a lot of dialogue for part 0, just so I can get the backstory for the what ifs done and complete, and that way I can do some, because I'm going to try to cut my episodes down to 30. I've been failing at that. I am really trying to get it because through analytics and everything. But that being said, hope you enjoyed this new what if, and I will see beautiful souls in the next video.